Okay, welcome back to another Monday morning mentoring. Looks good. So if you're watching live, type in live in the chat. If you're watching the replay, be sure to leave me a note that you were here. I do random fun drawings and send out little gifts. So love doing that if you are around. So make sure you comment and so I would love to share with you this month what's happening. Happy August. It's a new month, new energy. Things are shifting. We did our back to school. We homeschool, of course, but it's always fun. I still love going shopping for back to school items. And we did all of our shopping for back to school. So we've got everything set up at home with fresh pencils that are sharpened and fresh notebooks. Super fun. All right, so this month we are taking a deep dive into something that has a huge impact on how you feel. It has an impact on your energy. It has an impact on your skin, on your bowels, how that's going. Overall, your health and wellness. This has an enormous impact. In fact, I think it's probably one of the biggest. And this is essentially, it is what's going to affect your bottom line. We're talking about health and weight loss specifically, because that's what I coach on, but it is definitely going to impact your bottom line results on your health and on your weight loss. And if you're struggling with this, then you will understand why your results have been stopped, right? And it really comes down to this. It's all about what you feed your body. Last month, I talked a little bit about the mindset piece, and it is big, but now more than ever, it is really coming down to what you are feeding your body. And that means your food choices. That's one of the things this is a big struggle for folks, are the food choices. And I'm going to go deeper into this, but before I do, if we haven't met before, I'm Stefana Johnson. I'm the creator and founder of Yogalachi. It's a beautiful method of optimal movement, mindset, and nutrition using fundamentals of yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi. That's how I came up with the word Yogalachi. And I also focus on working with busy professionals who don't have a lot of time to spend hours in the gym, but they do want to get their energy back. They want to be focused and at peak performance. And that's what I specialize in, working with busy professionals to do that. All right, so great. Okay, I have a question for you specifically. What results are you working towards right now? And I want to really emphasize results, because oftentimes we get into this idea that what results matter are what we want to look for, but we want to use that as our way to course correct. So bottom line, the result that you're looking for, you want to be really clear on. And so I want to ask you again, and take a moment, and if you wouldn't mind sharing in the chat or share with me privately, you can send me a message or email me. Share with me what you are specifically working on directly correlating to a result. All right, so it could be you're trying specifically to lose a certain amount of body fat. So that's something that we can measure. Maybe you're balancing your hormones, and then that's a specific thing. So maybe the result that you're after is more energy. Maybe the result you're after is to repair your gut health. So you see how, if you're clear on the result, we can start looking, what are the steps we take to get there. But what I want to show you is that all the results towards health and well-being, and in fact, if your result that you're looking for is to just feel better generally, and to feel better about yourself, to feel better about life, this is going to have a huge impact. And bottom line is, no matter what your goal is, your results are going to be directly tied to what you eat. And if you're struggling on this front, there's probably a really good reason for it. And frankly, the deck is stacked against us in terms of our food choices these days. And that is because food manufacturers actually are creating products that lead us to crave those products more. And of course, I'm talking about ultra processed foods. That's the stuff like the chips, the ice cream, the sweetened granola bars, the power bars, the cookies, the white breads, the white flours, all the baked goods, basically anything you walk into the store and you see the boxes of processed foods, packaged foods. And I hate even calling them foods because it's food stuffs, but it's not food, and it's not nourishing your body, and it's not nourishing your brain, and it's not nourishing you. I think that's why we have an epidemic of obesity. And at the same time, more than ever, people are malnourished. You've got the manufacturing process of something, let's take an apple. And then they process it, put it into a juice box, and you've eliminated all the fiber. You've eliminated most of the nutrients because they're pasteurizing it, right? All the enzymes in that apple. Where if you just ate the apple, and ideally one that is fresh, local, not something that's been irradiated, the nutrition in that one apple is incredible medicine for ourselves, for our children. And I don't know if you remember this, where we used to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. There's so much truth in that. That apple is life force. Again, when it hasn't been irradiated and processed, and it's ideally as fresh as possible, right? But when they're manufacturing food stuffs, they're stripping it from all of the wholesomeness, all of the whole food ingredients that are in there, all the nutrients that are in there. And then they're removing that fiber, right? And then they add to it. They're adding the sugar, the artificial flavors, the excess sodium, the unhealthy fats to make it appeal to certain taste buds that have been adapted for most people in our population now. There's only a couple of taste buds that are used, and that's the sweet and the salty. And you've got 5 other tastes multiple other flavor ability for your body to balance that with salt, pungent and sour and bitter and astringent. And so that's missing. And as a result, you're not getting satiated. You're not getting nutrition, that you're not getting the bottom line result of what you want, which is to be energized from the food that you eat and to feel good and to have the nutrients actually repair your skin, repair your body. And so anyway, food scientists have actually stated that these types of foods, the ultra-processed foods, may be addictive. You may become addicted to these foods. And I wonder why. I wonder if that was done intentionally, right? To sell a lot of food that we don't need. So it's a double whammy. It's really, I'm not talking from an ivory tower here. It's literally yesterday, my boys was picking them up from their dads, and their dads had delicious chips. And I love chips. And it's like, you can't just eat one, right? Because not only do you crave more of them, it just doesn't do any favors for you in the health and wellness department. And they're high in calories, they're low in nutrients. It's really no wonder we have what we have in terms of our health issues and in terms of obesity and hanging on to extra weight. It's definitely a vicious cycle. I'm right there with you. I have my own challenge every single day, but I want to tell you there is good news. you can absolutely break this habit. You can break this habit with something so simple. I'm going to show it to you what I do for myself. Two things I want to say. First, because my son was actually saying as I was preparing for this, and he's like, "Mom, but you eat chips. I just saw you." I was like, "Yes, exactly." But we can't punish ourselves for yesterday or the moment before, and we have to come back into the present moment and look at. That's the biggest thing, is to come back to this moment and be present instead of beating ourselves up or regretting the past. And so the number one thing I can share with you is you want to become aware. This is what I tell every single client that comes to me before we start any kind of, now we're going to shift into whatever the diet or eating plan that we're going to be doing. I don't even want them changing anything until they become aware. Then we start from that place. And so one of the things, school supplies, we got a few here. One of the things that I use is a journal for myself every single day. And I suggest that you do the same. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be a simple composition notebook. It can be an app. You can do fancy. There's loads of wonderful online apps. And I mean, I have one for my clients that's an online daily log. There's Chronometer. I like that a lot. It's got to be something that you will use, and you want to track it for the entire week. So my coaching request of you this week is to track your food, but not just what you're eating, but when, how, where are you? Are you sitting in your car? Are you sitting at the table? Are you stressed? So you're going to note all of these down. The when would be the time, because once you start correlating what the time is, oftentimes it's that 3 o'clock crash. Well, we look before and see what's going on, but then we can also find who you're with. So a lot of times we have, let's say if we have coworkers, and so who you're with, kids, when you're with kids or when you're with other people that make different choices, just note that down. So right now all I'm asking you to do for this week is to become aware and to journal on this and note it down. No judgment, just note it down. Who you're with, what you're craving, where you are, what's the time. You could put in why. I don't like getting deep into the why, but I'll often ask, when you sit down to eat, are you hungry? And 9 times out of 10, it's usually that they're not hungry until we've shifted out of that phase of mindless eating, right? So it's not because they're hungry. It's because they're bored, or it's because they're stressed, right? And if those are the conditions, let's just look at it. Start to become aware. Again, that is the number one. That's number one for everything that I do with my clients. And I hope that you will take this as a mentors that we have to become aware and observe without judging. So we're removing the judgment piece from it. And remember, today is day one. Tomorrow's day one. Tomorrow's day one. The next day is day one. Every day is day one. It's an opportunity for us to grow and get better. We don't want to be putting so much pressure on ourselves that we're perpetuating this cycle. We want to step back into the pilot seat of where we're going, right? Okay, so pay attention to your cravings, pay attention to what's showing up. And just by using that journal and how you feel before and after, even during those cravings, just being aware might help shift as well. In fact, that's a big thing that my clients say, that they, without changing anything else, just that awareness piece, things shift. All right, so I really think you're going to be surprised just how closely your cravings are actually tracked to those ultra-processed foods. And as you become aware of it, I think it's going to make a big, big difference. And I have something that will also be a nice bonus support, and that is a 5-day Clean It Up Challenge, totally free. I've been doing this for a bit and I love this one. So you can go to yourholisticmentor.com. You just go straight there and you can opt in for that. And then you're on my mailing list. So you'll also get these tips that I am going to be working on this month. I'm also going to be in my kitchen. So I'll be coming to you from my kitchen, sharing some delicious recipes, tasty sauces and marinades that will really help, that are homemade in your kitchen. They're so delicious that will help start getting you back in control of those foods and hopefully getting more whole foods in there. But first, track this week. That's your homework, is to track with something simple. Use your log, just sit down. And I would love to, if you want to send a picture to me, you can snap a picture of it, or you can just let me know, email me. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to support you in that. And if you need more guidance, more specific protocol to drop the extra weight, and you're ready to do what I like to call, it's pretty radical transformation, because the before and afters, if you've seen any from the Yoga Latte Transform, they're pretty impressive. And I'm so proud of all of my clients who've done the Yoga Latte Transform, but I am taking applications for that now. We are starting in August. And so if you are interested in that, you can go to Stefana.net. Stefana.net is my personal calendar, so you can jump on that. And again, this is about you this week. It's really about understanding and flipping that switch. So hopefully this has helped. If it's been helpful, will you please let me know? Sometimes I don't get feedback if this has been helpful. And then when I do get feedback, I'm surprised, like, oh, people are actually listening and appreciating what I'm having to offer. And what that does is it inspires me to do more. And so if you have any specific questions, or if you need some specific help, of course, I would love to be your coach. And you can go to Stefana.net if you want specific help. But also, I'm here to serve. I'm not here to sell. I'm truly here to serve. And I'm crystal clear on my purpose. And so I hope this reaches those that need it today and for this week, in focusing on that. And so be well, have an amazing week, and reach out. That link again for the Clean It Up Challenge is yourholisticmentor.com. All right, bye for now.